What's that?
That is the new version of that.
Right.
This is the one that people get to have that have been waiting for it for oh so long.
Yep, I'm going to finally make them.
The Gjika amplification fuzz pedal.
Right. The first thing I want to say is ignore all this.
Ignore all that.
This is the guitar cable right here. It's plugged into this, which is plugged into the Gainmaster, which is plugged into two delays, which I only have one on, really tight, really short delay, just to like sort of take the carpet out of the room. This, amps. Ignore this. This is my amp switcher. It's totally passive.
That means 2 amps are on?
Yeah, I'm playing in stereo. Okay.
Yeah,
So
this is the old Gjika Fuzz.
So the first thing I want to say is ignore the battery hanging off the side because I don't have the clip yet. The battery.
Be like that.
Yeah, it'd be better than that, but the battery will be on the side. But I know this is silly, but as the back cover's barely on, as I hold this up and I say to you, I am not in the pedal business, okay? Seriously. And I'm not going to be in the pedal business.
Well, that's kind of silly because you're holding a pedal that you're going to sell.
And it says Gjika amplification on it.
Hello.
Okay. So
What world are you living in?
Let me explain what that really means, all right?
That's not really a pedal.
It's not a pedal platform pedal. It's a very specialized pedal, okay? It's designed and tuned to drive Germanium Fuzz into the Gainmaster, okay? And as you can hear, it cleans up really good when I back down anyway too. So it has a lot of uses with the Gainmaster. This is the one I've been using for years in my videos, and it's always been on my board right there. And everybody asks me for this, and I just
needs a good dusting.
I don't want to be into pedals, but you know, these germanium transistors and these things don't grow on trees, and they're very hard to get really good sounding ones, and so on and so forth. But I've decided to do some of these, okay? So I'm going to do some.
From popular demand?
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, I mean, I've sold a lot of Gainmaster amps now, and everybody loves this, and I think I should, you know, just make these available to people, you know. So that's what I'm going to do, okay? So let me explain something to you right now. You know, people just buy pedals. They buy pedals, right? Like, I don't know why they buy so many pedals, but pedals are built on a pedal platform basis, okay? And what happens when that happens is that's the whole thing where you plug a pedal into a host amp, I guess they call it, a pedal platform amp. It's a clean amp. So the feel isn't coming from the amp or anything, and it's probably not even a good amp, right? Definitely isn't. But
well, it doesn't have a Gainmaster. So that's to go with the Gainmaster, right?
So what happens is that pedal, if it's called a fuzz pedal, if you step on it, there's a tremendous amount of gain. So all by itself, it does this fuzz thing into that amp. Okay, don't think this is going to do that for you. It will not. This is not that kind of pedal. This is a very low gain pedal. It's tuned exactly to the Gainmaster. Or if you had a really good sounding Marshall or something and you cranked it all the way up and plugged this in, you would understand, you know, that this is for more than just a Gainmaster. But I mean, who plays like that anymore? And we left the fan on. I'm gonna go shut the fan off, so just bear with me for 1 second. Just here, put the camera on that while I go.
Give them a little tour of the Gainmaster and the settings on the amps. There you
go. All right, folks, I'm back. Okay, so.
Oh, you got something new.
Yeah, now the noise from the fan is gone. That was probably driving you crazy, but I'm not going to redo the video. So this won't do that, okay? What this will do, and I'm going to show you in a minute through a clean amp, is just make the amp louder with one of my two EQ positions with a germanium sound, very smooth germanium sound. But if you put this into a cranked amp, it will have that with, you know, a tremendous amount of fuzz, but not as much as, say, a fuzz face or something. Which is too much anyway for a cranked amp. You got to wind up backing them way down. So this is very tuned to that or that, either my amp with my Gainmaster or a cranked amp. So I doubt many of you people are going to want it for a cranked amp, because nobody just takes a 1959 100-watt Marshall, turns it all the way up anymore, and uses it like they were really designed to use. That's just not. That's not in the cards anymore. So I will probably make them. Maybe, I'm not going to guarantee you, but I will make them available to people for that, after I take care of my customers who've all bought my amps, my Gainmaster amps. Okay, so I've got to.
It's primarily to go with the Gainmaster.
Yeah, so I got to build a few of these first before, you know, if you want one, I probably might get one for you. But first of all, I got to build enough of these to take care of my customers first. Okay, so a friend of mine makes this fuzz. Okay, Scotty Smith, Pro Analog Devices. This is a pedal platform fuzz, and it's probably one of the best ones I've heard. You can use it you can use it in a really good amp too. It's not just a pedal platform thing, right? But it has way more gain than this one will ever have. It's not dialed in to my Gainmaster and all that. A lot of people who own my amps use these, if you roll the attack out, you can get this thing to have a lot lower gain and still have a lot of tone and everything. But you know, I'm building one that's designed strictly for my stuff. So if you want a pedal platform pedal,
and the controls on your guitar will still work with that one. Is that what?
Yeah, this one's pretty good. I'm giving a plug to this guy on this, and what I'm doing here is using this to explain what this isn't. Okay, because I don't want everybody just wanting one of these thinking they. And here's the other thing about this: this is not the Gjika sound. Okay, you're not going to buy this pedal and go, oh, I have the Gjika sound. It's not in here. It's in that. It's in this, and it's in these amps. Okay, this is like an accoutrement to these amps. It's a great sounding fuzz driver for these amps. Okay, it's basically
so it's an add-on.
What it's all about.
Gainmaster.
Yeah, and that's why everyone who's played through it wants one. Everyone who owns my amps and has played through it. It's just people have been asking me for years, and I'm finally going to do it. I'm going to build some of these for people. So let's get to some sound settings. Again, bear with me. This is going to be on a
clip similar to this.
Clip similar to this. Put the camera back on this right here, like that. Okay, and I'm sorry, the other way actually. And the reason for that is the last thing I want you to do when you bolt that thing to your pedal board is ever have to take it off. Okay, so watch this. I need a battery. Just pull it out. Put another one in. Okay, it's that simple. Pull the battery out. Put the new battery in. All right. Here's the other thing about this box. I'll tell you what the switches are here. These two switches, right here and here. Okay. This is to shut the battery off. It's real simple. I don't want you to have to pull a cable halfway out while it's on your board. I mean, you might not have the space for that, right? Oh, I don't have a 9-volt battery adapter on it. Don't ask. It ain't going to happen. These are germanium transistors. I'm an old school guy. This is a carbon battery, and a carbon battery in a germanium transistor is the only way to go. Okay, they just sound right. So it's going to have a battery. I'm sorry, I'm not going to have the option for the other thing.
Is it going to come with a carbon battery too?
Probably not. Batteries don't. I keep batteries around here.
Oh yeah, you can't mail those.
No, you're not even really supposed to mail. I know, but so that's really cool. Okay, when you're done playing, shut it off. Okay, your battery lasts a long time. You got to change your battery before a show. Just slide it out. You don't ever have to take this, unscrew it, and all that stuff. Okay, this 2-position tone EQ. This is very fat. This is just a really nice. Mid-range. I call this one the Les Paul setting and this one the Strat setting because I like the fatter sound with the single coils and the more rolling the bottom and the top off into the mid-range over here for the Les Pauls and stuff. Okay, but
and the knob.
That knob is obvious. It's gain and you can adjust it with your foot because it's got these rubber thingies on it. Yeah, it's a very large knob, so that's cool, right? So I'm going to plug this back in. And hope the cover off doesn't make too much noise. It shouldn't. Okay.
You gonna demo it some more?
Yeah, I'm gonna turn the box back on. I'm gonna find that same pick I was using.
You better turn your amps back on too.
Yes.
Want me to do it?
No. I can get it. Okay, so I should have what on? Gainmaster on there, right? I'm going to go back to that. This is just the amps clean. Turn this box on, only this box, right?
Without the Gainmaster?
Yeah, I'm in the fat setting. It's going to drive it very loud. The camera's not going to hear how much louder it's going to get, but it's going to get a lot louder, and you're not going to get a whole lot of fuzz. So don't buy this for that reason, because you're not going to be able to use it for that. And it's going to distort the delay a little bit, because the Gainmaster is the most beautiful thing in keeping, it's really the effects loop in the amp. It keeps the delays from ever distorting, no matter how much drive you put in. But now we don't have the Gainmaster on. So I'll show you with the delay off. But so if I turn this box on, okay. got too much signal going in it. Okay. The other EQ there. If you want that sort of thing through an amp cranked up much more than these are, because these amps are really clean right now, you can see what this would do if I crank those amps up, and I'm not going to do that because it's just too loud. I'm not going to sit here in front of it and turn these up for you, but you can get the idea, and that's not really what it's for anyway, but it'll work for that. Okay, that's all you're going to get out of that through a clean amp, and that's the beauty of why you want this. And I don't even need to sell these. Everyone who's ever bought an amp from me wants this, so it's like I don't need to. I'm just trying to explain to the guys exactly what it's going to do. Okay, so that's one of the main reasons why you want this, is it doesn't have a tremendous amount of gain, so that when you use it in conjunction with this, you know, it's so I'm trying to control this thing from feeding back too. But so that's the use and the function of it there. What am I forgetting? I know I'm forgetting something.
Well, we'll think of it later, and then it'll be too late.
It won't be in the video. Forgetting to play one of my least favorite guitars through it.
Les Paul.
Yeah.
Hey Les.
You know, all you guys love those guitars, so.
Feeling a little neglected?
It's always feeling neglected, but.
He didn't mean what he just said. He was just.
Say sorry to Lester.
Paul.
I gotta get my big fat fingers on these tiny little scale guitar now.
And now you have to show it on the other switch setting.
Gotta remember what I have
going on.
That's
the fat setting there.
Yeah, yeah. So, okay, both amps back on. Video when every guitar he picks up is out of tune and he goes, oh jeez.
But you didn't put it on the Les Paul. Did you put it on the Les Paul?
No, it's not even on. This is just a Gainmaster with the Les Paul. Jackson. And there you have it.
Hope they're not having an open house next door.
That's going to bring the cops. Now these amps are pretty loud, okay? Let me show you something really cool though. Anybody who knows about my amps know that they play it. Flashlight volume is better than anything else you'll ever find, right? So, and I got to set them. Hold on a second. I mean, that's really, really low, okay? That's what the box on. Cleans up really well with the volume control. Now without the box on, with the volume control that low on the guitar, you would have turn the wrong one off, sorry. I was trying to go for this one. Okay, so I don't even know if that camera's going to hear that. This is so low. That's on now, okay? And from there to here with the volume up. Wait, somebody could be sleeping in the next room. Les Paul. But
Stratocaster says you're playing favors with Les Paul now.
there it is at ultra low volumes. I mean, ultra low. And I was on the Gibson setting on the box. Okay? And I don't use it a tremendous a lot. I'll kick it in for some fuzz on the solos here or there, you know, because I'm going to shut that thing off now. And at this volume with it off, again, the guitar is just so beautiful. I mean, everything's in there. It sounds and feels like an amp that's blasting loud, and it is so low. So where do you go from there? You want it a little more? Balls, right? So there you have it, at all different volumes, blah, 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 blah. Oh, and for all those guys that like, can you shut the delay off? Can you shut the delay off? Yeah, you know, first off, delays ruin the sound of the amp. I don't use them because I want to. I'd rather put it on the console. But especially in the videos, you got to have some presence in the room, and this room is so packed full of stuff, and the carpet is so heavy. So here, I'll shut that delay off, and the camera won't really notice much of a difference there. And with the fuzz off and the Gainmaster I like that way better, but you know, you want to liven it up a little bit with a little bit of delay, and who really records totally dry anyway? Nobody. But there it is. There's all the settings. I don't think I left anything out. So they're available. The first couple of batches are all spoken for. So this video is not really about selling it to you, because everybody already played through this and knows they want it. But I'm just showing you when you get it.
It's cuter than the old one anyway.
Yeah, well, that's just an old prototype. I've been using that one for probably 10 years, like that, you know. This is way better than that one. It's got the on-off switch and everything, and so on and so forth. But I'm going to keep that one.
It's prettier.
And so I'm going to try
This one's for the museum now.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get everybody in. Okay. I'm just going to go down the list and get everybody taken care of with these, and then after that, maybe some of you guys that want it, you've seen what it can do, like without this amp and the Gainmaster. It's not really for that, but you're going to need a cranked amp, or if you have some system that simulates a cranked amp in front of it, you know, you might be good with that. But if not, you know, don't, like they say in Boston, don't bother me over it, because it's of no use to you. You want this, if that's the case. You want something like this, okay? This is more like a vintage pedal, but it's very highly tuned to exactly run into this Gainmaster.
That's the Scotty Smith's Pro
that's
Analog
Scotty
Mark
Smith's
IV.
Pro. Right.
Okay.
And you know, I'm sure there's other pedals out there, but I've played a lot of them, and they just fall short. This one's pretty good. You can dial this one back. This one's pretty good. But again, it's a specialized thing. You've got all the gain from the Gainmaster. You're simulating a gained up amp. All you want is the fuzz and the germanium sound and the right EQ. You don't want like a fuzz face is too much. And good luck finding a good fuzz face, by the way. Any of you guys with a lot of experience know all about that. I have a couple, but it took me a lot of years to come up with them, and they're not stock inside. Those transistors, the stock ones, were never good. I always had to match bias pairs from the ones I bought through all the years and come up with a killer set. So when you hear one of my fuzz faces and go, wow, that's the best one I ever heard, it's not without a lot of work. Okay, I mean, when Hendrix was around, he can go in the store and play 30 of them in one day and pick one, you know, and then it would get smashed around and no good. Oh, and also, well, that doesn't work tomorrow. It sounded great today, but it doesn't sound good tomorrow, because that's how those boxes were when you're trying to get all that gain out of a pair of germanium transistors.
Those germanium transistors are fairly unobtainium now. Is that
yeah, that's why I'm taking care of my guys first with them. I only have so many good ones, you know.
And what's the percentage running right now?
I don't know, but here's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing is this. Put the camera right here, sweetheart. Okay, these two boxes right here, when they're on through this killer sounding amp, okay, and they give you the sound of this killer amp, this amp cranked up, not a Fender or something else, but this doesn't work with any other amp. This simulates these amps cranked up, okay? When you turn this on in front of it, and look, I've only had the gain here. That's about where I like it. It goes, you know, it gets way more saturated, way more fuzzy, but you know.
You'll do another video about that later.
No, you'll have fun with it yourself. You'll figure that out yourself when you guys are playing it. But when you turn this on with this, it's like as if you removed this stuff and had the greatest sounding fuzz face, like that has as much gain as these two have together, which isn't going to happen because there isn't a greatest sounding fuzz face. They all have problems, and if you get a greatest sounding fuzz face, like if you're lucky enough like me to have spent years having one, why go get that thing? Some days it sounds like shit. You know, it's too hot, it's too warm, the transistors don't run right, and it's not controllable.
Or the battery.
This is that something that never happened, but it's the image of what that could have been. Okay, and you guys know that who played through it. You step on it, and that's the first thing you guys tell me, right? I already know that because I designed it. But you know, all the skilled guitar players who step on this, well, they've only played this old gray one, but you know, it's the same thing. So there you have it. This is the video on that, and it's getting way too long now. So
the 2-hour fuzz video.
Peace out, and for all you Les Paul guys, I actually played a Les Paul. Ooh. Horribly, but I played it.
The pretty Les